Collecting the impossible blue stud. Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga. I've played the PS2 Lego Star Wars games. I don't know if there's other games after that. I stopped paying attention to Lego games a long time ago. I know there's like Lego Marvel and stuff now.
There are studs everywhere in LEGO Star Wars.
That's true.
On pathways, hidden in corners, inside of breakable objects, and all of these studs have probably been collected millions of times by players all around the world. Except for one. In the second map of Death Star Escape, far below the floor, lodged inside a kill plane. This is LEGO Star Wars Impossible Blue Stud.
Collecting at the Wait, so was it like a bugged placement or something?
When I first learned about this stud, I had one goal: collect it.
Oh, it's just actually out of the map.
Quite a tricky task. Simply put, there just wasn't much to work with. The stud was quite literally inside a kill plane, meaning if you even try to get close to it, you just instantly die.
Bugged placement,
and if I'm
yeah.
being honest, I had no clue that this area even existed for quite a long time. Like, what even is this platform? In order to get over here, you need to break a metal wall above the top of this hallway, use a grapple, go through a hatch leading to a platform with a whopping 2 blue studs. There are no
Yeah, and then you
collectibles in
can't
here,
see it from here anyway.
even in challenge mode, so you don't even need to come over here while playing the game. So I imagine a lot of people didn't even know this stud was here. However, I still had a few ideas on how I could collect this stud.
Just fall into it? Yeah.
The most obvious thing to try here is to just fall into it, but you won't even get close. You just hit the kill plane and respawn back up top. I tried doing a Jedi Slam, hovering over it, walking off the edge, jumping off the edge, double jumping off the edge. Nothing worked. This clearly was not going to be the way to go about this.
Why did this never get patched if it's just not, like, if it's just like outside the map? Did the devs not even know about it until like years after they stopped caring about the game?
My second thought to collect this stud would be to find a way to get underneath the floor and collect it from the side. The first way I tried to get out of bounds was to do a Yoda clip through the ceiling and go off to one side.
A Yoda clip. Is that a speedrun strat? Why would you make a whole patch just to remove a stud? Why would you make a whole patch just to change a single word? People are like, the game's been patched because of that as well.
Then cut back in under the floor. However, I quickly found as I tried this, I would just hit the kill plane to the side of the floor before being able to get underneath it. Actually, the kill plane even existed underneath the floor. This is pretty uncommon, as you can normally just walk underneath most floors in this game, but not this one, making me realize that picking up the stud is going to be a lot harder than I originally thought. I can't pick it up from above.
It could be a stud that if it's removed, everything breaks. I highly doubt that. That would have to be one of the worst programmed games I've ever seen.
Can't get underneath the map. So now I was wondering if this was even possible at all. Meaning, if I literally used cheats, could I collect it? This was something I tried.
Like no clipping out the map? Teleportation!
First, I tried teleporting my character to the exact coordinates of the stud location. Even then, I still was instantly dying before my character even had a chance to pick up the stud. However, I felt like this could maybe work, but the idea needed a bit of improving.
Really? Big okay.
We need to make things bigger. No, not Tonwi. Okay. Stop! I'm talking about Rancor big. And you might be thinking, you can't play as the Rancor in this level, and you would be right. But, like I said earlier, I just wanted to see if it was even possible to pick up at all. I wasn't too worried about the legitimacy at this point. But even walking off the edge with the Rancor...
Dead.
It still didn't work. And it was at this point that I realized I made a crucial mistake. I forgot about Stud Magnet.
I guess it's like a treasure magnet thing.
Stud magnet increases the range you can pick up studs from, and although the range for blue studs increased is less, it still does increase. So now with this red brick on, I tried every single thing I did before, but with stud magnet. However, to my unpleasant surprise, it made no difference. At this point, I felt like I was...
so the kill plane starts here by the looks of it. And at least from what I can tell, the blue stud range would stop about here. And it's a bit further down.
Truly out of options. The only way I could somehow pick this up is if I could quite literally avoid the kill plane. Wait a minute. That's it. I didn't need a tall character or the Rancor. I needed the one and only freak who could avoid kill planes in the entire game. Yoda. This guy is a little freak. Everyone dies when jumping into this pit here. Not Yoda. He's basically superhuman. So surely Yoda, with...
So is Yoda just the key to breaking? Like, I'm imagining Yoda is like a key to like a speedrunning stuff, because he talked about like Yoda clips as well. Like if you do a anything goes speedrun, I assume Yoda is like a big character you use in this game.
This strange hitbox in relations to kill planes and having stud magnet will be enough to collect the impossible blue stud. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, didn't seem to work, but it was interesting how Yoda seemed to fall down a bit farther than all the other characters before dying, and it was at this point I realized something.
You got pretty close.
That's all we needed. This was going to work, and I just needed to do one more thing.
Okay.
In LEGO Star Wars, one thing the game does to prevent it from lagging is that when something is off screen, the object vanishes in order to save the game's resources.
Sure, yeah.
Once it comes back in range to the camera, it appears once again.
Yeah, every game does this.
When I'm walking off the edge like this...
Usually not as bad as this, where you can see it happening on screen.
When I'm walking off the edge like this, the stud is so far down that it actually isn't loaded in until I've already died and can't pick it up. So with Yoda as our character, stud magnet turned on, and the camera panned down far enough that the stud is in range so it's loaded in, it was finally time for our final test. It had been done. While the journey to get here may have been complicated, the actual final result is actually quite simple and even something you could try for yourself. So you might be asking at this point, are there any other studs or any other collectibles like this one that exist somewhere out of bounds, hiding away in the shadows, waiting to be collected? From my personal searches, I couldn't find anything, but I didn't look too extensively. For this stud specifically though, it actually exists in LEGO Star Wars 2 as well. However, since that game doesn't have stud magnet available to purchase as an extra, I couldn't find a way to pick it up in that game.
Right.
So technically speaking, it is still currently impossible in that game unless someone finds some sort of major breakthrough. There are some random collectibles that exist out of bounds in other LEGO games that I do know about though, such as the out of bounds mini kit.
It's fairly normal to put items out of bounds, especially like a lot of the time what you'll have is devs putting things out of bounds so they can easily copy it, and like so they're using it for like development, and they just never remove it after development's done. Or it's either used for that or as like a load point, so you can load the resource out of the map and then place it wherever you need it to be. This is quite common in video game cutscenes. Like you'll have like a character T-posing out of the map, so they can be loaded outside the map and then just moved in as they need to be moved in.
In LEGO Batman and LEGO Indiana Jones, but those are stories for another day. If you happen to know of anything yourself, let me know in the comments, and shoutouts to this commenter for making me aware that this stud even existed. So while the stud may have been forgotten for so long, it is now, alongside the thousands of other studs inside this game, finally collected. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video,
well, that's cool.
It would mean the world to me if you subscribe, so you know when all my new videos are uploaded in the...
I have zero interest in playing a LEGO Star Wars game, but it's always cool to see how people mess around with the game's mechanics to get things that probably shouldn't be possible, but are there anyway.